What if I told you that the most unexpected reunion of the year took place during a peaceful Father's Day backyard barbecue, not on a reality show set or red carpet? Yes, you read correctly. While the internet was still reeling from the chaos of the BET Awards, Remy Ma's walkout, the missing wedding ring, and that famous side-eye captured in 4K. Papoose pulled a plot twist in '01 and had it on their 2025 bingo card. And guess who is front and center, smiling like the proud first lady of a messy kingdom? Claressa Shields. While most people were busy refreshing timelines looking for new celebrity beef, one quiet reunion just set the internet on fire. There was no press release, no promo, no headlines in the blogs, just a 57-second video, one tight hug, and a father finally choosing his son in front of the entire world. Was a heartfelt family moment or a calculated move to embarrass Remy Ma after months of silent warfare? Did Claressa shield Papoose or replace someone else entirely? Oh, we have the leaked footage, the shady family text threads, and even the apology that never made it to Instagram. So buckle up, because isn't just a family reunion, it's a full-blown redemption plot with a side of retaliation. The video starts with a slow pan over a small backyard setup with folding chairs, dollar store balloons, and a Bluetooth speaker playing a quiet R&B instrumental. It shows Papoose in all black, walking into a funeral or a fight. But what happens? Next isn't death but resurrection, because a young man with a thin, clean-cut, soft-featured face that looks exactly like Papoose's before the pain emerges from behind the makeshift decoration arch. You can tell from their mutual glances that isn't a staged reunion or a reality show setup. This is what family really looks like. Claressa Shields, she's not just there, she's behind the lens. She helped plan this. She made it happen. And the person not there, Remy Ma, the silence surrounding her absence is deafening. And the fans noticed immediately. Comment sections exploded within hours. People weren't just asking questions, they were crying. The two stand for a moment without speaking, just tension, and then the hug. It's not a quick one, not polite, but the kind of embrace that makes everyone in the background go silent. You don't hear the music anymore, just soft cries and a camera operator trying not to shake. Investigating why Remy didn't show up when the most significant event in Papoose's life happened. Sources close to the family say this reunion has been building for years. According to leaked direct messages between a low-tier blog and someone posing as a cousin, Papoose had tried to communicate with his son privately twice before, once in 2022 and again last year. In both cases, someone in the household advised him to wait and avoid complicating matters. The wording was ambiguous, but fans filled in the blanks, and the backlash wasn't subtle within 24 hours of the video leak. The trending hashtags #RealFatherEnergyLand, #SheDidn single quotes tease how up were not in Remy's favor because isn't just a family reunion. It's a direct contradiction of every narrative we've been fed for the past 10 years. The devoted couple, the perfect love story, the ride-or-die support. Broken by one hug and one woman with a camera who used to be known as the homewrecker. Here's the twist. Insiders claim that Claressa made the initial call, contacted Papoose's son weeks prior to Father's Day, set up the location, and assisted in writing the speech, which Papoose never even finished because he broke down in tears. One eyewitness even told a private gossip forum that in the meantime, Remy Ma has posted nothing, liked nothing, made no statement, made no comment, and made no denial. Just silence and a highly filtered Instagram story about self-care that didn't land the way she thought it would. The public's response has been harsh. One fan tweeted, "Charlara ignored." Another wrote, "Imagine being married to someone for years and they never gave you the strength to do what you needed to do when no one else would." A media executive from a well-known streaming platform told Kes anonymously that a short documentary pitch about the reunion has already been approved. And yes, Claressa will be listed as co-producer. Whether this is strategic or symbolic, one thing is certain: this woman is not going to disappear. As for Papoose, he hasn't spoken out publicly, but his actions speak louder than any verse he's ever rapped. Since the reunion, he's been spotted in numerous pictures with his son, including a private dinner in Harlem where the two reportedly toasted two new beginnings. A waitress at the restaurant said it's difficult to overestimate the magnitude of this narrative shift. For years, Remy and Papoose served as hip-hop's moral compass and the example that everyone cited. Now, people are questioning how much of was real and how much was just a survival story wrapped in publicity. Claressa, who once claimed in a post-fight interview that she knows how to win in silence, may have won more respect from fans, critics, and those who once called her a home wrecker. It turns out that she was attempting to fix something, not break it. The questions continue to arise, though, of why this reunion is happening at this particular time, and why it's happening. Part 1 gave us the emotion, but Part 2 is where we delve deeply into the power dynamics, the years of silence, the family secrets that might finally explain why this reunion didn't happen sooner. We have receipts, phone logs, and a therapist's note that allegedly confirms everything Papoose was afraid to say out loud. Did Claressa push him to do what he's always wanted to do but never could? What about Remy Ma? Is she hurt? Is she pulling away from the situation? Or is this her way of punishing both of them quietly? When it comes to the Papoose Remy Ma Claressa triangle, everything seems personal and public at the same time. But here's what the internet didn't know when it shared and reshared that reunion video. That hug was never supposed to happen. At least not if certain people had their way. Sources close to Papoose's circle claimed the reunion was almost canceled at the last minute. Why? Because days before the event, an anonymous message was sent to the son's phone. There was no name, no return address, just a single line. Apparently, Papoose had been going to therapy in secret for more than 6 months, not for himself, but for how to approach a reunion with his son. The therapist, who spoke under condition of anonymity, said the biggest obstacle was fear of the son's reaction. Not fear of public backlash, but fear of conflict within his home. The timing of the sessions raised more eyebrows than anyone could have predicted, especially when that same number was later linked to a burner account that had previously commented on posts defending Remy Ma's parenting choices. That's putting it mildly. It's not an easy situation to be in, but what finally got Papoose over the edge was allegedly a leaked phone log that revealed Remy had blocked the son's number following a heated text exchange last year. The content of the conversation, which hasn't been verified but is being discussed in fan forums and so-called inside blogs, included messages from the son saying, "You don't have to understand me. Just don't erase me." The alleged reply was, "You bring too much chaos." And that word stuck. For years, Remy cultivated a narrative of strength, redemption, and family. A woman who made mistakes, paid her dues, and supported her man. But if the messages are genuine, it means she was choosing silence over growth and control over connection. Meanwhile, Claressa, who never pretended to be anyone's moral compass, was doing the exact opposite, encouraging Papoose to step into his truth through quiet action rather than public gestures. According to someone close to Claressa's team, she spent weeks looking for resources for Black fathers with trans children. She even contacted a community organizer in New York who specializes in LGBTQ+ family therapy. No, she didn't post about it, she didn't tag anyone, and she didn't give a speech because it wasn't about optics. It was about change. In contrast, Remy hasn't said a word, made no clarification, or even posted vaguely about family dynamics or personal healing, just a social media blackout that has left fans furious every day. One tweet encapsulated it perfectly. "Your silence is louder than the hug we witnessed." However, the backlash isn't limited to the internet. There have been rumors of canceled brand deals. One podcast platform that had been in talks with Remy for a motherhood series reportedly pulled out quietly last week. A representative for the company said only, "We're moving in an asterisk. The direction toward Claressa is allegedly different." Speaking of directions, let's now take in center stage. According to sources, he is currently in negotiations with two major streaming services to executive produce a documentary about fatherhood and redemption. And guess who is rumored to be in episode 1? It's his son, not Remy. It's not about the love, story, or the marriage, but rather the unvarnished truth of being a father attempting to mend harm in real time. This is a man who once rapped about loyalty like it was religion, but now he's living it in a way that is different. The story doesn't end there because something is brewing behind the scenes. A slow, deliberate counter-narrative that's about to go public. Word is that Remy is preparing this side of the story, not through a tweet or a post, but through a carefully crafted sit-down interview that's already been filmed but not yet aired. This isn't through marriage vows, but rather through a Father's Day video that might just redefine who he is to the world. And that, more than any drama, is what people are reacting to. Alignal and damage control. The topic of motherhood betrayal and what she's calling the full truth. Insiders say the interview will frame the reunion as an ambush. Remy wasn't invited because she was purposefully left out to paint her in a negative light, and Papoose and Claressa staged the entire moment to control the public's sympathy. Whether that's true or not, the timing of her silence followed by a polished interview is raising red flags. If this was about family, why wait? Why hide? Even more damning are the rumors that isn't the only family fracture being kept quiet. Another unnamed relative has hinted at additional fallouts within the family, suggesting that Papoose's decision to go public may have been motivated by more than love. It might have been about legacy, control, and rewriting his place in the hip-hop family tree before someone else tells the story for him. And let's not forget that this is about narrative, not just acceptance. Claressa and Papoose are sharp, calculated, and possibly explosive. As we approach the scandal's final chapter, the stakes are higher than ever before. Relationships have changed, allegiances have changed. And the audience at home, the reunion may have felt like closure to some. But to those who have been closely watching, it was only the beginning, because beneath the tears and viral hugs, something much more calculated has been going on. Family secrets don't stay buried forever. And now, with rumors of legal action, confidential footage has been leaking to journalists, and networks are quietly circling for exclusive rights. So this story is escalating into something much bigger than anyone could have imagined. Sharing links and debating in comment sections are no longer passive. They are now choosing sides. And those sides are drawing battle lines through a family that was once thought to be unbreakable. The reunion was part of a larger project, according to a private source who claims to have access to the Shields Papoose media team. It's not just a dossier, but a full narrative rebranding campaign, and it's already underway. Claressa has reportedly signed a deal with a major production house to executive produce a limited series centered around second chances. And the reunion footage was submitted as part of the pitch deck. Quiet meetings, confidential edits, and contracts signed under non-disclosure agreements. Wasn't just a chess move, and the moment Remy Ma learned about it, she did what everyone feared. She called her lawyers, and we're told she's looking into defamation options, intellectual property claims, and even the ability to have her name removed from any future projects involving her image or marriage. That's right, Remy Ma may legally distance herself from Papoose and the entire plot because she sees it for what it is: a gradual deterioration of her legacy by people she once considered family. Now, let's talk about the leak. A few days after, part 2 of this story went viral. An anonymous email claimed to contain audio from a therapy session between Papoose and a family counselor. In the clip, a man who sounds exactly like Papoose says, "I waited for years hoping she'd come around, but when she told me, that's your burden, not mine." I knew we were completed. The blog that posted the transcript was hit with a takedown notice almost immediately. But the damage was done. Screenshots went viral and fans were quoting instead of just speculating. The clip changed everything, portraying Remy Ma as dismissive rather than absent, and it provided context for her silence. It also highlighted Claressa's quiet but consistent role as the quiet enabler of healing, while Remy was managing optics. The contrast could not be more public. Which is precisely why this story has now become a full-blown crisis for Remy Ma's brand. Let's talk numbers. Since the reunion footage was released, Papoose's streaming numbers have increased by 32%. In less than a week, Claressa's social media following has grown to over 400,000. And 3 major wellness brands have reached out to her for collaboration. Meanwhile, Remy has lost 2 minor endorsements and reportedly had an upcoming TV appearance postponed indefinitely due to what was described as ongoing family instability. This isn't a rumor. It's a power shift that's happening quickly, and even internally, things are chaotic. Rumor has it that members of Remy's own management team have begun contacting the media to get her side of the story before the interview airs. According to one insider, a previously mentioned recorded interview has been altered to include the problem with that strategy is that it feels late reactive. Like damage control from someone who never imagined the narrative would flip this fast, and the public can smell panic. For 10 years, Remy Ma has been the one with the microphone telling her story about her past. But in this moment, she's quiet while others speak louder, and they're being heard. Papoose's son, whose name we're still choosing not to publish out of respect, has also broken his silence in a private Instagram story that was screen recorded and leaked by a mutual. He posted a black and white picture of himself and his father at the reunion with the caption, "It's been a long time coming. I missed you. Thank you for seeing me." There were no insults or rage, just peace. And that was the final gut punch because it revealed a deeper story about how he had been waiting all along. Now people are asking, why didn't Remy see him? Why did it take this long? Why did it take Claressa to bring a father and son back together? The questions are loud, public, and unrelenting. Unless Remy's response is flawless, the audience she worked so hard to build may not be, so fans have already begun to speculate that is the reason Claressa is stalling. But she isn't slowing down. According to a rumored leak, Papoose and Remy's prenuptial agreement contains a restraining clause that prohibits either party from publicly shaming or interfering with the other's career trajectory in the event of a marital breakdown. If true, the clause could determine whether Remy even has the legal basis to contest the content in Claressa's upcoming docuseries. Could silence her. What does all of this mean for Papoose? For years, he was the quiet one, the supportive one, the man who stood by Remy when others wouldn't. Now, he's the center of the narrative. And the public is watching him not with curiosity, but with respect, because in a time when so many men choose silence, he chose love. In front of the public, she's leaning in rather than running, which worries people who thought she would fade into the background once the heat got too high. Optics, it was about getting back what he had lost years ago, a relationship, connection, and a sense of peace. And with Claressa by his side, he did what he couldn't do before. As the dust settles, one thing is certain. This wasn't just a viral moment. It was a reckoning for Remy Ma, Papoose, Claressa, and every family that has ever allowed silence to speak louder than love. Now, we ask you, the viewers, fans, and those who have followed this story from the start, was this reunion a sincere act of healing, or was it a calculated media move to gain sympathy? Did Claressa save this family, or did she split it forever? And if this story proves anything, it's that the truth is louder than fiction. And there you have it. A Father's Day reunion that wasn't just about family. It was about power, silence, and the truth finally coming out of the shadows. Papoose didn't just hug his son. He hugged a version of himself that he'd buried years ago, Claressa didn't just support him. She planned one of the most daring moves we've seen in hip-hop family drama in years. And Remy didn't even have to, because in the age of receipts, silence is no longer protection. It's a statement. If this story has taught us anything, it's that no one's legacy is safe when the cameras start rolling and the truth starts leaking. If you want more stories like this, the ones they don't want you to hear, make sure you like this video drop. Her absence said it all. The question now isn't what happened, but what will happen next. Will Remy Ma respond with a televised tell-all that flips the sympathy script? Will Claressa double down and go from GWAT to Stepmother of the Year? We don't just report the tea, we pour it boiling. This is the drama that they tried to hide, the footage that they attempted to remove. The reunion that rocked a marriage, the reunion that rekindled a father's argument, and the woman who became the most unexpected player in the game. Stay tuned, because if you thought this was crazy, you haven't seen anything yet. Subscribe now. Subscribe now.